Okay, I'd like to spend some time talking to you about the research component of the class. David Lynch is primarily known as a filmmaker, but that is hardly the only thing that he is involved in as an artist and as a human being. And we have the privilege to get to spend some time exploring all of that stuff. And this is the part of the class that I'm the most excited about, because while I know a lot about his films, I don't know nearly as much about all of the other things that he's involved in. And I am really excited to get the opportunity to learn about all of this stuff from you. And so the goal here is that we are going to try to cover as much of Lynchland, or the Lynch expanded universe, as we can by dividing and conquering, essentially, and then presenting our findings to everyone else. And so I've got a list in another document of all of the different things that David Lynch is involved in besides making feature films. And what we're all going to get to do is pick one of those things to become the expert on, and then spread that knowledge to the rest of the class through some kind of presentation. The form that takes will be up to you. I want you to find the way to present the findings that you came up with in as authentic a way to both you and to the material that you've been researching, right? The person who is researching David Lynch coffee might not find the same presentation format applicable as the person who is researching David Lynch's visual art, right? So I gotta leave that up to you, because you're the expert here, and the requirement is that you dig really far into it and you find a way to share what you've gathered with all of us. That's it, right? Now, this can be a project that you do on your own, or it can be a project that you do with one or two other partners. I'm not going to force anyone to be in a group. I'm also not going to force anyone to work on their own. You know how you work, and you know the way that you work best on things like this. And so if you feel very strongly or very comfortable working on something like this independently, I want you to do that. And if you feel like there is someone else in the class whom you work very well with and really want to collaborate with, I want you to do that too. But I don't want you to be in a situation where you are working with someone else and finding it an unequal partnership, because that's unfair to everyone and it really cheapens the whole process, and I'm not going to repeat that. So what I want you to do over the next week is to figure out, do you want to work alone or do you want to work with someone else in the class? And then from there, make sure that other person wants to work with you and partner up, right? And if that person is not in the same discussion group day as you, let me know, and we can shuffle things around to make sure that you're in the same synchronous discussion, so that you're both free on the same day at another point, so that to collaborate. Because I think that's only fair, and I'm flexible with all of that. Or if you want to work alone, right? You let me know that too. The other part is that I want each person or group to be the only person or group researching that topic, which means that we have to assign who's going to do what, and I want to give you some choice in this. So also over the next week, as you're looking at all of these topics and figuring out what you want to do, I want you to write up what your top 5 topics are and why you think you should be the person to research those, and then turn that into me as well, and that'll help me figure out kind of where all of the interest lies, how to assign the topics and things like that, so that we can get into this. There are no bad topics. They're all very interesting and fantastic, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. The other thing that I would add to this is that because you're going to be working independently, I want to make sure that there are some points where you can check in with me and let me know how your progress is going, either what the cool things you found are, or what you're struggling with and how I can help you and stuff like that. And so I've put into the course some bi-weekly updates. These are very informal, and these are basically, if you're starting a Google Doc with your notes in it, go ahead and just share that doc with me so that I can see what you're finding and where you're at, and you can put questions for me in there and I can answer them and stuff like that. Or if you are keeping a journal, occasionally share that journal with me, or just email me when the thing is due and say, hey, here's where I'm at, here's what I'm thinking, right? Anything like that. These are checkpoints. That it's not busy work, because I don't want you to really have to generate extra stuff to keep me in the loop, but I do want to be kept in the loop, just so I can see where it's going, and I can give you feedback and help and support you in what you're finding. Now, that is the gist of it. I'm of course going to be available to answer any sorts of questions that you have with it, but like I said, it's something that I think is going to be super fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you come up with. So please, get digging into those topics, and let me know what you're interested in.